children. All right. It's gonna be Huns versus Khmer. We
Yep.
successfully navigated that Civ draft like pros.
Yeah. It's
So
almost like
let's
we
hop
know
in.
what we're talking about. All right.
We know a thing.
Or
We
two.
know something.
All right. So let's see. This Atacama
Oh,
is.
interesting. They're not like directly across from each other, so they don't need to go like through the forest. They're going to be going around the forest, but of course they don't know that, so it's going to take them a little bit of extra time, I think, to find each other. But I'm interested how it's going to play out. If they're still going to try to go through it or just stick to the around town. But Viper is Khmer going straight for the berries, and I foresee scout opening for both parties.
Yeah, it's
Seems
pretty standard on
very
this
exciting.
map. We'll see if they try and both push all the deer. It's pretty standard to push the deer on this map because it is fairly, like, the deer patch is pretty close to the TC. But with this 9 villager start, you kind of need to get going scouting a little bit earlier because scouting on this map's really important too. You want to know where your opponent's wood line is so that you know where to send units. So yeah, since both players are pushing deer, that probably leads me to believe that they're gonna both go for the scout opening. Because if you were gonna go for men at arms, which would be the other standard opening here, you'd probably want to be scouting a little bit earlier because that hits a bit earlier. So you need to know where the opponent is. So yeah, just based on the fact that they're both pushing deer, probably gonna be scouts. Mirror. Both civs are better at going scouts anyways. Like Khmer men at arms, rush kind of just doesn't exist because they can skip the
Yeah.
barracks. And Huns,
You
not
like
normal.
how Viper is pushing the deer towards the mill? I like it. Because these villagers underneath the town center are working quite nicely with the boar and stuff like that, but you might as well get the berry villagers working a little bit faster, which is nice. But the second deer, he's going to go towards the town center. ACCM still pushing for the proverbial cushion as well. But Viper looks like he's going to be a little bit faster to the next age. I'm not quite sure why that is.
Yeah, it's just
Maybe he's got his hunt
better.
a little bit faster.
Yeah, better efficiency, pretty much. Um, yeah, that's all it really is.
Yeah,
ACCM will be
94 to
able to go up.
91% the efficiency.
Yeah, well, it makes a difference, and yeah, Viper just being able to get that, he's able to squeeze just a little bit more food out of those boars and deers, and yeah, sending or rebalancing his economy, getting up to his 8 on wood here with the extra villager in the bottom. What is she gonna do? Is he making a barracks? No. I was wondering.
No, no, no. Yeah, that would be clinically insane there for the Viper. But I like the wall. I like what he's trying to do. Oh, hold on. He is making a Rax. No, no. He's remembered.
Oh
Oh,
no! He is a Khmer Rax. What is this? What
what?
are you doing, Viper? I guess for spears, maybe. I don't know, but like,
You know what? Having spears, I think, is just mentally very, very nice to have. So he wants to match that spear production from ACM, which makes sense, especially because Huns have the faster working stables. So we'll have the initial
yeah, it
advantage
makes
for
sense. It's
ACM.
not a horrible play. It's just
It's
weird.
not crazy. He could
Yeah,
have saved himself the 175 wood, but that's not how the cookie crumbled.
yeah.
But Viper will have a slight advantage, one villager's worth advantage of being in the feudal age, and that means he'll get his stable up a little bit faster. And ACM will be joining him in just 24 seconds. But 24 seconds? How long does it take for a scout to be constructed?
30 seconds. So
30
it's
seconds. That's
basically one scout. So, yeah, no, yeah. If you go up one villager earlier, you just have one more scout. But since you're making the scouts from home, like the opponent's still gonna have the same number of scouts if you go attack. So, yeah, it doesn't make too much of a difference. And yeah, I mean Viper getting the barracks because he wanted to make spears. So yeah, Khmer, they can be weak against scouts if you don't get that barracks. So it kind of makes sense. It's not a big deal. Now, looking at this map, ACCM would just die to a tower. So he got this outpost just to reveal any enemy towers. If Viper was going to go for a watchtower, and Viper not thinking about going for the tower yet, but maybe he'll see that this wood line could be towered, and maybe he'll go for that later.
Yeah, Viper's also picking up both of his eco upgrades, ACCM as well. I like Viper's wood situation. I like the way he's walled it here. It just feels a little safer. And then, like you said, ACM is a little bit more danger involved in his wood line here. But Viper's got his scouts and spears here. And I don't think ACCM has the resources here to defend as well as you'd like to. Now being off the berries kind of hurts because you need food to make your scouts and spears and villagers. He's going to be struggling. Also
Yeah.
opens. Finish the walls.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, it's kind of interesting to see these games where it seems like the meta is just to spam so many spearmen and come forward with spearmen and scouts, and it's a pretty good unit composition and
Maybe
hard to deal
ACCM
with.
wasn't expecting the spears because I mean, he scouted the rain. Never mind. He scouted the rat.
He scouted it eventually, but yeah. This is a lot of spears, though. You never really know how many spears your opponent's going to make until you see them. So, yeah, I mean, having the 3 spears here still pretty strong and quite a few scouts. Once ACCM gets this wood line walled in, he's going to feel a lot safer, though. But he does need to get that up. ACCM adding a 4th spearman, so that's going to help quite a bit.
Yeah.
But of course, if you overinvest into spears, you are vulnerable to a range follow-up, which is exactly what Viper is doing right now. So ACCM being forced into kind of over-making spears, Viper's going to follow it up with some archers, and the spears are going to be useless against the archers. So,
Well,
yeah.
ACM could also do a similar thing. He has the wood for a range for sure. And I'm assuming ACM as Huns will want to eventually transfer into cavalry archers. So having a stable wouldn't be the worst play for him. I wouldn't hate it, but ACM is not yet on gold. So with a range, best he could do, maybe a couple skirmishers.
Yeah, and unfortunately, skirmishers die to scouts. So if you do go skirms to counter enemy archers in this situation, it's kind of risky because if you get caught out with them, then they just die to the scouts. So yeah, Viper just gonna be spamming scouts, spearmen, archers. He's doing everything except for men-at-arms. Nobody likes men-at-arms.
Yeah, in terms of farm count, ACM with 17 in a pretty nice position. If he does make it to Castle Age first, then obviously with his couple knights that he pumps out, would be in a pretty good position. Lots of scouts here for Viper, going to get dinged by some spears, so that was one scout gone for free almost. Especially because now Viper is sending over his own archer, and that's going to basically idle a whole lot of economy right now. With that archer, it's going to prevent ACM from really easily walling behind, and that's going to force a tower. And that means not able to sell the stone to get Castle Age a little bit faster. No building of town centers right away. You got to buy it or whatnot. But I think on a game like Atacama, it's pretty aggressive, booming, maybe not advisable.
Yeah, usually you don't go for the TC anyways, really. But you know what this tower does open ACCM up to? Is if Viper just sends a Vil forward and towers the wood line, but out of range of that tower. Like, Viper definitely has the opportunity to do that here. And then ACCM would just be completely screwed because he would have a tower that's protecting nothing.
Yeah, we don't see any villagers walking forward there just yet, but it's a pretty big feudal army from the Viper, and now he's picking up fletching, so his archers are going to have a little bit more range, and this villager at the gold here will not likely make it home to his mama's house for Christmas dinner. I think he will... Oh!
No, he is going to make it home. He had mercy. Viper did. Anyways, this is such a hard army composition to deal with as ACM, but it's also really difficult for Viper to control. So, the control is not perfect for Viper here, but losing a few stuff to the TC, but overall it's fine.
Yeah. 1 second, I'll be right back, but
yeah, I'll keep going. Okay, so we have all of the spears and archers coming forward now. If Viper getting bloodlines, he's gonna have the armor as well, and these scouts are just gonna be dominating everything. So ACCM really on the back foot here, and you really can't afford to be on the back foot on Atacama. You have to maintain at least a similar military count to your opponent. ACCM, it's like he's not even close to clicking up to the Castle Age either. So I think that his play is going to be to mass as many scouts. Not like he's not going to add a range or anything like that. He just needs to go fully upgraded scouts and just hope to surround enemy spears and stuff like that. Ooh, that's pretty bad for ACCM. So yeah, Viper having upgrades. I think ACCM is getting kind of dominated here at this point. I think that Viper is going to go up to the Castle Age a lot faster, and then ACCM's probably gonna not even be clicked up yet. Because ACCM's gonna be trying to add as many scouts as he can, because he needs the scouts, but it's gonna hurt his castle age timing. And yeah, Viper with this position, denying the farms, maybe picking off a villager here and there. Pretty tricky. Yeah, for repairing, you have to use the repair hotkey. Like, Viper would have used the repair hotkey here. If you use the repair hotkey to tell them to repair, then they won't run back.
Well, Viper here is getting some nice raids with his scouts, and he's really close to the next age as well. With 18 on food and those Khmer farms that gather food instantaneously, he's getting some pretty nice value. So he's up to castle. He's got 20 to 8 military units. He's got actually there's been four deaths for ACM, 0 for Viper. So he's in a pretty good position. And what can ACCM do to weasel his way?
He's kind of dead, honestly. Like, the
Hold
best.
on. He's getting the counter rate at the Golden Viper here, but is this going to be enough? Khmer have that nice little ability to garrison into the house, so we've got 5 villagers idling there. But now Viper's picking up forging, so I think we'll definitely see some knights coming out for the Vipey, and forging's going to profit here for the spears. For the scout cav, it's going to be a pretty nice position that he's in. And ACCM using the market, trying to grease up and oil his body to slide into castle. But I think Viper,
Yeah,
Viper's been pretty good.
the Viper is going to be up like 2 minutes faster, basically. And yeah, Hun's CA can make magic happen, though. So if ACCM's going to have a chance, he's going to have to go CA. He added 1 range. He's going to add 2 more ranges here. He's going to have to go all in CA and just hope that he can get some counter raids. And yeah, even 2 minutes slower to castle age. So that's a long time.
That's a long time, and he's not walled at all. So like his farms are ugh. But I mean, at least his wood line here for the time being is safe. Viper's not mining any stone, but he still has 200 stone available to him. So he could build town centers if he wants to. He's going to go for battle alleys, and ACCM just doesn't want to get there. He says, GG.
Yeah, ACCM knew that he was so far behind. So yeah, game was over. But, well, ACCM took to the first game, so we have a set here. 1-1.
I believe it's pronounced Juan.
Juan.
12 scouts, 11 spears for Viper, all that was necessary. Military economy, technology, stars all around for the Vipey here, looking pretty good. What do you think it was that gave Viper that winning touch?
So Viper
110 APM or?
Well, no, it was just the fact that he was up a little bit faster, and he added those 3 spearmen, which just allowed him to always have more military. ACCM maybe underreacting, and then basically he underreacted initially, which meant that he needed to add more spears in later to clean up the scouts. But by the time that he had those extra spears, then Viper just brought archers to counter the spears. So yeah, it was just really the unit composition and Viper just controlling the way that the game was going that allowed him to get that position and just deny farms, deny berries, really make the wood economy a disaster at ACCM's base. So yeah, it was all Viper here.
So Viper actually picked ACCM's whole map, right? Because
Yeah.
he lost the first game.
Yeah.
So there you go. Viper flexing on ACM, picking his home map. And we saw a pretty nice win here with the Khmer Civ. I mean, Viper loves Khmer. He loves Portuguese. He's very good at it. ACCM here struggled a little bit with the Huns. But now it's ACM's turn to pick the map. He can pick Gold Rush, Ring of Reeds. Obviously, Viper's maps always are available to him as well. I think Mayans might be there for Gold Rush. And if I were ACCM, I don't know how I'd feel about going up against Mayans.
Yeah, well, Mines is always going to be